All right, guys, what is going on? This is episode 590 of the First and Frame Rate Show. I am VF Baller. Over here, we talk about Georgia Southern and Atlanta Falcons football. And today I got two topics for you guys because I want to kind of make up for yesterday, but both of these topics are really interesting to me. So I want to get into that, and hopefully I can get you guys feedback. And I'm not going to waste your time too much because this could be a long episode if I go too long. So let's go ahead and get into this. If this is your first time here, welcome. I can be found on YouTube and Rumble. I'm also on Anchor, Stitcher, Spotify, Apple, Google Podcasts. I want to thank you guys for the support. You guys have been excellent for watching the episodes, checking out the channel, looking at the stuff on the podcast avenue. It's all thanks to you guys. I really, really appreciate it. Can't thank you guys enough, especially yesterday with it being Memorial Day and you guys still came through to watch the small video I did. I really appreciate it. Let's go ahead and get into this. I'm not going to hold you guys up. There are some projection stats out there. Now, albeit full disclosure, this is fantasy football, but nevertheless, it's still a microcosm of what, some experts, what they think about what we're doing over here. And also full disclosure, a lot of these stats are kind of weird, but I'm still going to put it out there because this still is a microcosm of what they think about this team. So, one thing about the fantasy football stats, they give you a breakdown of basically what they're going to do for the entire year. We're going to start with Desmond Ridder because the math to me ain't mathing. Desmond Ridder is supposed to go for 246 for 390, 2,763 yards, 14 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. Carry the ball 39 times for 169 and 1 touchdown. I find that very, very weird because of the numbers are just low. You got to understand that this year he has a lot of weapons, and I looked at the rest of this stuff and something really don't look right. How are you going to throw for 2,763 yards with all these weapons? Now, some people may look at this like, that's not about right. Desmond Ridder might do that or whatever the case may be. I'm going to go away from the quarterbacks and I'm going to go to the wide receiver. Because the wide receiver, they got Drake London. Also, they got him ranked 30, just like they got Desmond Ridder, but, that's a whole nother story for another day. Drake London, right here, let's see, number 30. They got him catching for 914 yards on 75 receptions. 914 yards. Okay, that sounds cool. 914. Now let's go to Kyle Pitts. You go to Kyle Pitts here in the tight ends, which they respect Kyle Pitts even more because they got him at number 7. They got him for 824. So let's do some math. Let's do some quick math. 914 plus 824. That's 1738. So when you take 1738 and you take that away from, 2764, that's 1,026 yards left. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, Jonnu Smith is on this team. Scotty Miller's on this team. Mac Hollins is on this team. Bijan Robinson is on this team. You mean to tell me all those guys I named, they're supposed to account for 1,026 yards? I think not. Let me tell you something right now. I think Desmond Ridder is going to shock a lot of people. Not because of necessarily his skill set or anything. This guy has way too many weapons. This kid could easily throw for a good 3,500 yards. He could throw for 4,000 plus. You got too many weapons. If everybody stays healthy, it could be easily a lot because Bijan Robinson, in this article, they got him running for 1119, which I don't think he's going to get 1,000 yards rushing because he's a dual threat. I think he's going to get maybe like 600 catching and another 600 rushing. The guy who's going to get over 1,000 yards again is going to be Tyler Algier, which they got him at 600 something yards. It's really weird how this is all played out. Now, I'm just going to keep it in that little microcosm right there of those players because when you look at, Bijan Robinson, Tyler Algier, you look at Kyle Pitts and Drake London, that's pretty much a catalyst. Jonnu Smith is going to be an X factor. You know what I mean? Tyler Algier catching out the backfield is going to be an X factor. Scotty Miller and you got Mac Hollins, and I didn't even talk about Arcega-Whiteside. I think I said that right. He's supposed to be in the fold as well. Frank Darby may come on because, believe it or not, Desmond Ridder was managed to get Frank Darby open. That's another story for another day. It's really weird how they got these numbers. And maybe I'm looking too much into it. Let me know if you think I am. because I just think that these are way too low. And also, I think all these other numbers are pretty low as well because they got like, what's his name? Patrick Mahomes, like 4,400 or 4,700 yards. That kid could probably even throw for another 5,000 yards. I mean, you just got to understand, like, in this today's league, and I know that they think the Falcons are going to be run first, you got to understand, we got Bijan Robinson, so we won't be run first. Don't get me wrong, Tyler Algier is going to be the thumper. He's going to be running the ball down people's throats late in the game. But Bijan Robinson is going to be all over the place. You know, Kyle Pitts is going to be all over the place. Now, I haven't even talked about Cordell Patterson. He's going to be all over the place. So there's a lot going on here that doesn't really make sense, but I feel that this is just fantasy, so it's cool. I'm not taking too much into it, but they don't respect what's going on here. Desmond Ridder with all these weapons, there's no way he's going to replicate what he did last season, where in 4 games he threw for 708 yards. And if you multiply that by, 16, 17 games, he's at about 3,000 yards passing. So at 3,000 yards passing with only throwing the ball to Pruitt and Drake London, you can imagine what he has. He has like 6 or 7 more weapons at his disposal. Whatever you may think about Desmond Ridder, this offense is clearly, destined to succeed. All he has to do is make good decisions, which, to be honest, there's been times that he's made some rookie mistakes, but he hasn't made like terrible decisions. Hopefully that don't be the case going into next season where he's possibly going to be making some mistakes. So that's my take on that. Let me know what you guys think. Before I get out of here, I want you to think about this. They got a lot of rookies ahead of Desmond Ridder, which is kind of a shame. The guy got more book knowledge of the NFL than those guys, and I know those guys got talent, but I think Desmond Ridder's in a better spot to do some things. I'm not going to lie. And they also got Ryan Tannehill ahead of him, throwing for 34-19, 15 touchdowns and 10 interceptions. I don't see that happening. I just don't see that. I see Desmond Ridder outplaying Ryan Tannehill because I don't think the Titans got that many weapons anyway. That's just me. My son's in the background. If you heard him, that's what it is. My son is here. He's cool. He's playing the game. You probably see him if you're watching YouTube, he's right here behind me or Rumble. All right, let's get into the last topic before we get out of here. And we're going to talk a little bit of college football. Let's get into it. Coaches sound off on tampering is a cutthroat business. Now, I'm not going to get all the way into this article. I'm going to put both of these articles down in the description. I will tell you this. Tampering is a real problem, especially in the SEC, probably in the Big 10, Big 12, Pac-12. I'm pretty sure it's a problem. Now, when you look at all of this here, they're basically, Billy Napier and a couple of SEC coaches are claiming, even a guy from the ACC with Pitt, they're in this article saying that, look, there's a problem with the transfer portal and a lot of guys that are on these other staffs are coming after our players. And something needs to be done about that. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm going to be honest with you. This is uncharted territories. They don't have anything to enforce this. I don't know if the NCAA is going to enforce it. Does the SEC? Does college football? Does that committee, do they enforce it? I don't know. But it's really weird. And it's going to be a problem until they do something. As far as we know, we have a lot of players that was recruited by some of the same coaches. Somebody who went to Alabama was also recruited by somebody in Tennessee. They were also recruited by somebody in Georgia, Florida, probably held Vanderbilt. And if that kid's still on the bench after 1 year, they're probably going to come back to that kid and say, why don't you jump in the transfer portal? We'll pick you up right away. Come through. Or what about you? Why are you still sitting on the bench? You better than that. You come on over. Come do this. Come do that. And a lot of this is happening. I know it is. Now, I don't know how it's happening in other conferences or whatever the case may be, but I know with as high a level of competition in the SEC, Big 10, Pac-12, I'm almost certain that it's happening. There's no doubt in my mind. And what they're going to do about it, I don't know. I'm not going to lie. I have no idea what they're going to do about it. It's going to be a serious problem. But I think at the end of the day, they're going to have to do something about it. Now, shout out to Alex Scarborough. Good article here. I think it's worth reading. It's a pretty long one. But just to give you my, quick analysis of it, it's a problem. I know it is. And this says right here, one little part of the article, thus far, the NCAA has not publicly punished any FBS coaches for tampering. And as long as they don't, it's going to keep happening. So don't have much else to say on that. I hope that, our team isn't doing it. I'm probably sure that they are, Georgia Southern. I would not be surprised. But one thing about, yes, sir. Okay, wait a minute. But one thing about Coach Clay Helton, I will say that he has a large reach. He can get kids all the way from the other side of the country because he's so well known across the country. So maybe you don't have to do that. I don't know. Were we poached? Probably so. I know there's some guys who are not with the program anymore and they went straight to a Power 5 school, but you know how that goes. Let me know what you guys think, man. I done said enough about it. If this is your first time here, like I said, welcome again, man. If you like this comment, hit the like button, share this podcast, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I know you heard my son in the background. He wants me to help him with the Sonic game. He is a big fan of Sonic, so I'm going to go jump on that. I'm going to get up out of here. Thank you guys for making it this far. I can be found on YouTube and Rumble, also on Spotify, Stitcher, Apple, Google Podcasts. Catch me on Twitter. Not on there as much as I used to, but I do post some things from every now and then. And also, firstandframerates.com. Go over there and check out the website and support your boy. All right, y'all, I'm going to get up out of here. Y'all take it easy, and y'all be blessed. Peace.